In the third year of the Hijri calendar, during the month of Shawwal, the Quraysh polytheists advanced towards Medina to avenge their defeat at the Battle of Badr. About 4 miles from Medina lies Mount Uhud, where the Quraysh army camped at its base. A contingent of their fighters moved towards Uhud, leading to the Battle of Uhud, which occurred a year after the Battle of Badr. According to sources, in 625 CE or 3 AH, the Quraysh leader Abu Sufyan led 3,000 armed soldiers, including 300 camel riders and 200 horsemen, from Mecca to a place called Uhud, located 5 miles west of Medina. In response, a force of 1,000 mujahideen, including 100 armored soldiers and around 50 archers, advanced towards Uhud to confront the Quraysh. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, divided the Muslim army into 3 groups: the Muhajirun, the Aws, and the Khazraj, led respectively by Musab ibn Umayr, Usaid ibn Hudayr, and Hubab ibn al-Muntir. On the way, the hypocrite leader Abdullah ibn Ubay deserted with his 300 followers. Ultimately, on March 23, 625 CE, a battle between the Muslims and the infidels took place with 700 mujahideen. Despite being outnumbered, the Muslims initially achieved success, forcing the Meccan soldiers to retreat. However, a critical mistake by some members of the Muslim army changed the course of the battle. Near the base of Mount Uhud, there is a smaller hill called Jabal al-Rumah, or the Roman Hill. The Prophet Muhammad had stationed 40 of his companions, including archers, at a narrow pass on this hill with strict orders not to leave their post, even if they saw the army being devoured. However, after seeing the retreating Meccan army and the prospect of spoils, the archers disobeyed and abandoned their post, leaving the pass unguarded. Abdullah ibn Jubayr tried to stop them, but they pursued the retreating enemy, seeking spoils. This lapse in defense allowed the Quraysh leader Khalid ibn al-Walid to attack from behind, scattering the Muslim forces. In this battle, 73 mujahideen were martyred, and their graves are located at the Badr plain. The Prophet Muhammad was injured in this battle. His tooth was broken, and a rumor spread that he had been killed. The Quraysh soldiers launched a full-scale assault, endangering the Prophet's life. The companions protected him with their bodies, with Talha ibn Ubaydullah losing a finger in the process. A blow from Ibn Kamaya caused the Prophet's helmet to split, driving 2 iron rings into his face, and he lost consciousness. The Quraysh began celebrating, believing the Prophet was dead, mistaking the martyr Musab for him due to their resemblance. Among the companions were Abu Bakr, R.A., and Umar Farooq, R.A. The Muslims retreated towards Mount Uhud, and the Meccan army eventually returned to Mecca. In this battle, over 350 Quraysh were killed, including most of their leaders except Abu Sufyan, Jubayr ibn Mut'im, and Hakim ibn Hizam, who later became Muslims. The Muslims, for strategic reasons, took refuge on the mountain. The Quraysh leaders retreated, vowing to meet again at Badr. The Prophet Muhammad sent Sa'ad to monitor the Quraysh's movements. The Quraysh, learning of a potential Muslim counterattack through a Medinan named Mabad, fled back to Mecca. The Prophet Muhammad and the companions stopped at Hamra al-Asad, 13 kilometers from Medina, before returning. Though neither side claimed a decisive victory, the Quraysh did not enter Medina and eventually retreated. After the Quraysh fled, the Prophet gathered his wounded mujahideen and delivered a touching speech, praising Allah. He stated, "O Allah, all praise is due to you. O Allah, there is no constriction for whom you have expanded, and there is no expander for whom you have constricted. There is no guide for whom you have led astray, and there is no misleader for whom you have guided. There is no giver for whom you have withheld, and there is no withholder for whom you have given. There is no one to bring near whom you have cast away, and there is no one to cast away whom you have brought near." The Battle of Uhud is a significant event in Islamic history, occurring in the third year of the Hijri calendar. The Quraysh from Mecca numbered 3,000 with a cavalry unit, while the Muslims had only 700 fighters with negligible cavalry. Despite the initial victory, a critical mistake led to a change in the battle's outcome.